Hello everyone, it's Ruby here today. So if you haven't already noticed from the title, I'll be unboxing the book by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. And just before I get started, I just have to point out that it is snowing right now. It's Canada, so for any non-believers out there, yes, it snows pretty much all the time in Canada. So just as sort of a background to this book, it was sort of conceived and otherwise thought up by J.J. Abrams, to which he was partnered with an author who wrote this book, and it's sort of dedicated to bibliophiles, so the art of books and the lover of books and everything that have to do with books. And so I thought that I would do an unboxing because it is kind of a lovely book, and I thought I would share that with the entire internet and anybody who's also interested. There's only a couple of videos that actually have to do with the unboxing of it, and I found that to be quite disappointing once I discovered the book, because it is an art piece of itself. So I will be yet another video for people. I've already opened the box. So there goes the unboxing part, just because I needed to know what was in it. I have a couple other things coming in the mail and I wasn't quite sure what it was. So you open it up and this is it. So on the cover there is S with J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst on the front bit here. On the back it just has some information. It's about the ship of Theseus, which you can see on the binding there, by Straka. And on the inside are two readers who discover the book and have a conversation in the margins. So it's supposed to be sort of a classic and then a book within that book, so a conversation about it. And I think that there's also some mystery about the author itself. I think that some of the conversations are about the author, but I guess we'll see. So just opening the plastic because of reasons. Isn't that a pretty intense pair of scissors there? Like, I could stab someone. I'm not gonna stab anybody. Okay, so there it is. So you have, it's supposed to be a library book. I'm all over the place with this description. I had everything prepared and everything like that. So it is a library book. It shows the Dewey Decimal System and the author, and there's a seal right there. And again, information. I have to open the seal. Such a nice stamp. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, it's fine. Okay, so it's cloth bound, and it feels old. Like and I really like the ship on the front, like that little tiny ship there. It's really good graphic design, I think. Kind of smells mildewy almost. Yeah, how would they do that? Okay, so you have book for loan, so just like a library book, and then you have information in the margins right away. So you have a whole bunch of writing in the front. It's quite interesting. The pages are like, they look old, like they're very yellowed, but they don't feel old, which obviously they wouldn't, but they're very plasticky, and I kind of expected them to just be very papery, that kind of consistency you get with old paperbacks, and that's not necessarily the case. I'm not against that. I think it would protect the book, but it's just shock. And so you actually have publishing information here, translator's note, and then ephemera. So you have you have a note in German. Guess who knows German? So that will be a testament to how much I learned in German class. And then yeah, so through all the book there's like a newspaper right there. You have a telegram. It's kind of hard to like show and not be totally and completely afraid of everything falling out. Yeah, postcard. Ooh. Oh, you have actual like papers. like yellow note papers and letters. Is that... It's a weird consistency, like maybe they had printed it on book paper, kind of like the paper in the actual book, which is, it kind of strikes me as odd because when I'm thinking about them creating this book and like the actual publishers, they had to put it through a printing press, so they had to actually print out all of these different margins and things, and all of these different like paper clippings and stuff. Like what? So it's kind of, it's just interesting to think that like the paper clippings, they've also had to like print out and like cut out and then put into specific pages of the book. I feel like if I show you any more though, that it'll just kind of give spoilers, because I'm noticing some things that I don't think should be shown unless you've started reading the book. And then I have like this code thing. It's really bad of me. But it's like that. And then at the back you have the date of things borrowed here. Return on and before, latest date stamped below. And keep this book clean. Ha! Borrowers finding this book pencil marked, written upon, mutilated, or unwarrantably defaced are expected to report it to the librarian. I'm guessing that the two people writing in this book were the two people reading this book during this time period, if neither of them were reported. But that's really cool. I really like this book. It's quite interesting because it is a work of art. Like, you can obviously tell that they took a lot of time into this. They figured out publishers and people and translators and authors, and they put a whole history behind this. But at the same time, you can kind of tell that it's like a newly published book, because like the cover is sort of plasticky and the papers are plasticky and the articles are plasticky, which I'm not like against because it's newly published, but it's still quite the surprise, I guess. Of course, I should probably put it back because everything's gonna fall out and I'm gonna hate myself for it. There you go. So the reason I wanted to unbox this was because they have finals right now. I should be studying right now, actually. And then in about a week and a half, I'm going to be going to England, and I really don't want to have to bring this on carry-on because I feel like either I would destroy it by putting my book down, or it would somehow get rattled in the flight or somewhere in England. So I'm gonna actually not be able to read it until about June. So yay, excitement, except not for another 2 months. Why did I buy it right now? But hopefully you enjoyed this sort of video. This is slightly different than what I had been doing before, and it's slightly different experience. So we'll see what happens. If you liked this video, obviously thumbs it up, subscribe, comment, like, do whatever you'd like. I have a couple of pieces of information down below. I have the video that first got me interested in this book is by Peruse Books, I believe. And she did a book haul a couple of days ago. And then there's also an interview that was done with J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. Some of it has to do with Star Wars because J.J. Abrams, but they actually got into some interesting information about the authors and sort of how this sort of thing came about that I wasn't able to properly explain in this video. So if you want to check that out, I'll have both links below. And yeah, so I will talk to you later.